a little bit to realize the perfection of your path, rather than it's a step backward, or it's not moving as fast as I want, or it doesn't have these details. Instead, I'm right where I want to be. The timing is perfect. The timing is perfect. Things of this physical world are dissolving, they are evolving, but timing, you have the option of what you call perfect timing. Timing, synchronization, rendezvous. Hear the harmony of those words. So the first harmony or rendezvous that you're seeking is that of source. Timing sometimes could be a condition. In other words, I need something to happen in such and such a time. You can turn timing into a condition that will bite you in the foot. And let us just give you these words, it'll help it. I want to realize my path rather than go find my path. My path is coming to me, and I'm preparing myself for the realization that it's there. It's a big difference. My path is coming to me. Am I realizing it? Have I created the mood or atmosphere that allows me to see it? And once you get on that trail, once that starts happening, it feels like there's the path, and there's the path, and there's the path. That's that feeling of momentum that you get. There's the path, and there's the path, and there's the path, and there's the path, and there's the path. And what Esther began to notice is not only is she now able to feel that's a piece of the path, and that's a piece of the path, and that's a piece of the path, but whoops, I just stepped off the path. Whereas you can feel when you're on the path, and you can feel when you're not, but it's just through that comparative feeling. It's not that anything ever is awful. It's just that some things are more on the path than others. Some things are more on the path than others. Things that make you feel really wonderful are more on the path than things that make you not feel wonderful. But things that make you not feel wonderful are not off the path. It's just the things that really, really feel good are more on the path, you see? And that's how it is with your inner being. Your inner being knows where it is. But your inner being not only knows where it is, your inner being knows which path has the probability of satisfying the most things that are in your vortex. Sometimes the most direct route is what you think you want. Sometimes the most beautiful route is what you want. Sometimes the route that meanders you in a place that you've never been is the route that you want. But your inner being always knows what you want and what the priorities in that vortex are, and is always guiding you to your greatest satisfaction every step of the way. You just got to practice this a little bit so that you can feel the vibe of the trail. By holding steady the vibration of where you want to be, so that when you step away from it, you feel colder, and when you step toward it, you feel warmer. By not moving around. When Jerry and Esther first met us, there was a couple that knew about Abraham, the only people that Esther allowed Jerry to tell about her weirdness. They were living in Phoenix. And so one night, Esther got an idea. You guys go hide somewhere in the area, and it's a 50-mile this way and 50-mile this way area. Go hide somewhere. We'll get Abraham to find you. And these are the rules. We won't quit till we find you. Nobody goes home till we find you, no matter how long it takes. That was the deal. So Wes and Nancy hid, and Jerry and Esther with Abraham are on the case. Now Esther was not receiving fluidly like this. She was still just kind of grunting and pointing. They'd come to an intersection, and Esther would say, that way. And sometimes she'd say, it's clearly not that way, so go that way. And so they filled the car up with fuel twice that night. Ate many Snicker bars. And finally found them. And by the time they found them, Esther was so mad at us and at the whole game. She said, we are never, ever, 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 ever going to play this game again. And then Esther said, first, we went to the dumpster behind Mountain Shadows Hotel. And they said, yeah, we were there. And then they said, and then we went over behind the Regency Hotel on Scottsdale Boulevard. Yeah, we were there. And then we went over to Benihana's over on Scottsdale Boulevard. Yeah, we were there. Our inner being told us to move. So what we're getting at is you've launched these rockets. There's a trajectory in place before you even got into this physical body, and you've been contributing to it every day since. And there's a magnificent probability there for you. And as you chill out, as you beat up on yourself less, as you appreciate yourself more, as you reach for these emotional feelings, as you allow your vibrations to go from general to more specific without wobble, as you feel your way to this, as you start enjoying clarity and harmony and humor and fun and playfulness and all of those things that come from alignment, to the degree that you consciously now choose that for yourself first and foremost at all times, then all of the details that you have been putting into your vortex over a great amount of time will begin to dovetail together in this synchronistic, beautiful unfolding that will leave you feeling sure and blessed and eager for more. There isn't anything that you need to get done. It's just that you want to live life in a joyful way. And when time is passing and you're not joyful, then something's really out of whack with that, because there's no place that you're going to get to that's going to be any better. You cannot follow an unpleasant path and end up at a destination where you want to be. And so we want the destination of where you want to be, wherever feels good from where you are right now, because that's all you can do. Feel how this all fits? You've been listening to us for a while. You have, haven't you? You've been with us through the Law of Attraction series. Did you go upstream and downstream with us? Were you on the high-flying disc with us? Did you get in the vortex with us? And now we're asking you to create an atmosphere so that you can turn your thoughts to things. In other words, you've been listening to us for a while, and everything that we've been talking about from the beginning of our first interaction with you is to help you to understand that you are pure positive energy looking for a place to be glad. That's who you are. You're just looking for a place to have a wonderful experience now. And if you're having less than a wonderful experience, something's out of whack, and it's not us. Because we're having a wonderful experience. We're having a wonderful experience. And if you're not, it's because you're doing something different than we're doing. You're thinking differently about it, you see. You've got this figured out. Just be playful about it. And take score less of the time. Let the score that you take, if you must take score, be how fun is this? Esther says to us every day that her favorite feeling is clarity. And then she'll say, or fun. I want to feel clear, but I like to have fun. And then she'll say, fun is my favorite thing. I love being playful or clear. I love to be clear and playful. I love to have fun. I love the feeling of clarity, and I love the feeling of fun, and I love the feeling of new. I love the feeling of new. I love the feeling of new, which doesn't feel clarity in the beginning, but it is fun. I love the feeling of fun that then turns to clarity. Ooh, I love fun and clarity. I just love fun and clarity so much. And new. I love the new so much. I love the new so much, but I love clarity so much. I love clarity and fun and new so much. And we say, you're on the same vibration that we are. New exposure, new experience, new life, new opportunities. You don't want sameness. You want newness. You really do. But in newness, often there is insecurity. You don't want insecurity. You want security. But sometimes the feeling of newness makes you feel insecure. And then the insecurity becomes the dominant vibration within you, so you don't reach for newness, and then you get bored. And then you get going on that cycle, you see. Where if we could convince you, and we believe we nearly have, that you have control over the way you feel, that if you will take a notebook and just simply write these emotional words and stay focused on them long enough that you actually feel movement within your vibrational center, you will push the reset button. You will change your point of attraction. You will change your relationship with everything and everyone. And it'll be a change for the good. You'll like it. Nothing is off limits. What you will notice is a wonderful unfolding, because we had this gathering before we dragged your physical bodies here. In other words, who you are, what you've been living, what you want is all part of the vibrational mix of all of this. So together, we're just going to find a way to sort it out. with the powerful intention of helping you to close that gap between who you really are and who you may be allowing yourself to be in any moment. Life is supposed to feel really good to you. You're supposed to be having a wonderful time. You are supposed to feel good. But in order to do that, it takes some deliberate attention. It takes some deliberate focus, which means, mostly it means, you got to care about how you feel. You got to care so much about feeling good that you are willing to pay the price of feeling good. You have to care enough about feeling good that you are willing to use your emotions to help you in the choice of thought. And that's what deliberate creation is. So once you begin to put this emotional translation in the mix, once you begin to recognize that how you feel matters most of all, because how you feel is your in the moment indicator of how much of you are allowing to be present in this moment. If you knew how much backup you've got, if you knew how many advocates you have advocating on your behalf, you see, we know everything that you're asking for and where it is and what the path of least resistance to it is. We know where everything you want is and where you stand in relationship to it. That's a good thing. It's a good thing for you to know somebody who knows that, you see. But you've got to be in a place where you can receive. Esther says, oh, but Abraham, you and Jerry, all you dead guys, there's no such thing as dead. You are so subtle now. You are so subtle. I have to tune myself so precisely to your frequency in order to hear you. Can't you be less subtle? And we say, tuning is subtle. Tuning to the frequency of who you are and what you want, it takes some practice. But it's an easy thing to do if you care about how you feel. Because if you care about how you feel, you're just not going to entertain those thoughts that don't feel good. You're just going to find yourself more and more shying away from them, which is to say shying away from or toward something else. In other words, there's no such thing as exclusion in this attraction-based universe. You sort of kind of get that? There's no such thing as no. When you look at something that you really want and you say yes to it, you are including something that you want in your vibration. But when you look at something that you don't want and you feel that resistance well up in you and you are saying no to this thing you do not want, what you're actually doing is saying yes to this thing you do not want. Because attention to the subject is what causes you to be the inviter, the receiver, the realizer, the creator of it, you see. We've taken supreme pleasure from this interaction. It is exhilarating to feel you in your alignment. We are eager about what is unfolding. It is our desire that you be easier about all of it. Leave this gathering with one thing on your mind: my receptivity. My receptivity. Now that you are the enlightened beings that you are, as a result of the conversation, we're going to bring this gathering to a close 3 or 4 minutes sooner than an hour, because there's no better place to leave this than where it is. So we're not going to follow the rule, and we're not going to give you your fair share of the hour that you paid for. Instead, we're going to follow our impulse of knowing the perfection of the timing of this. There is great love here for you. We are.